Welcome to the Safe Room, everyone. I'm your host, Sean Williams. Welcome back to the podcast. And today I got a great guest. This person I met back a while ago, and I was just astounded by his art. Seriously, this man is a amazing artist, a black artist, and like his way of telling stories, painting powerful pieces with ink. Ink, guys, listen, like the type of ink you use for pens, he's doing that for pieces. That's top level stuff right here. So listen, I had to get him on, let him show his repertoire, his skill set, and his hard work. Because this is a guy that I've seen, and he's been putting in all the commitment, and it's showing a lot. And I would love to just speak to him about more about his thing. So welcome, please welcome Cam, a.k.a. Monster Boy Inc. Cam, what's going on?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Yo, thanks for the shout out still. I was great, man, for real. I'm good. I'm good.
Of course, man. I had to like give this shout and everything. And no, honestly, the words that just came out, I was being honest. Like I was there at that showcase for Raw Artists
Yeah.
Canada, and I saw you, and I was just like, "Yo, who the heck is this guy? This guy's different." Like,
Yeah. Like it was an amazing show, to be honest. Like it was different from the first one that I did, and I think a lot of people came out that last time because like the restrictions they were a little bit less, and a lot of
right?
people were just out there, and you could tell like the energy was surreal.
Yeah,
So
man,
like it
absolutely.
was good, man. I saw a lot of people, and I was glad that you were just there. And when you told me about the safe room, I was like, I gotta get on. I gotta get on.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Well, thank you for coming on, man. We're gonna have a great time. We're definitely gonna talk about your work, everything that you've done. We're just gonna have some fun
Definitely,
with it as well. Have good
yeah,
vibes
for
around it.
sure. I'm all good vibes still. I'm all good vibes.
Hey, hey, man. Of course, of course. So, guys, you already know what time it is. We have to start off with our main segment, the hot seat. So, Cam, I'm gonna ask 4 questions, 4 simple questions, and just answer them
All
to
right,
your best ability. Okay?
okay, for sure. Let's go.
All right, all right. So, man, first question. Outside of your work, please describe yourself in one sentence.
hmm. I'd say amazing. I'm amazing. Yeah, I just say it like that. Cause a lot of people just they tell me different things. Like I hear a lot of things from different people. Sometimes I think
Mhm.
the best word I could use to describe myself is amazing. Cause a lot of people just get there's this facial expression they have when they see me do my thing, and I'm just like, I'm cool, I'm all peace and love, and I'm amazing too while I'm at it. You know what I mean?
I love it, man. I absolutely love it. Just show love to yourself. I feel like a lot of people just feel like, I'm gonna be humble sometimes, and like that's cool. But listen, when you know that you're doing your
Yeah.
thing, you gotta boast. You gotta boast, man.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit. Just gotta give yourself some self love, because like sometimes you really need that.
Yeah, man. Self love is
So
the best love.
yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Okay. So, question number 2. What is the hardest piece that you've ever made?
Um. So I just recently started exploring with paint. As you can see, like I have a. This is a new piece. So I just recently started exploring with paint, because I just worked with charcoal, pencils, and ink. Like, I think all the years of just making art. It was just like last year, like when I came for school, I just started exploring with paint, started getting paint classes, started doing a lot of stuff here and there. So I think the hardest piece I've ever made was the first paint portrait I tried to make this year. Was for a
Hmm.
person. I just wanted to, surprise them a little bit with a paint portrait. It was really special, and that was so hard for me because I only always did self. black portraits with the pencil and the charcoal and the ink, but I never like really did the whole paint thing, trying to paint the face, the skin tone, the
Right.
hair, everything. I was like, it was so hard for me. Like, but like I think so far, like when the piece came out and I got the reactions. They also told me like what they felt about the piece. I was like, yo, did I really do that? Like that was it was so hard for me to make that, to be honest, because I did a piece before that piece. Like I had two paintings actually of that piece. I did the first one and I messed up the eyes, and I was like, oh man, oh this isn't happening. Like I had a total breakdown, like a creative block. The first day I tried to do it, I was like, damn, nah, this isn't working. I'm gonna just sleep on it. Then the next day, I just kind of woke up. I didn't even like have time to just get breakfast or anything. I just dived right into the canvas, and the second one just came out. And I was
Yeah.
like, yo. And since then, I've just been like tapping into portraits, and it's just been coming out, clean and dope. And I'm just like, yo, that first one did it.
Yeah, listen. Sometimes you get that spark. Maybe the first one it didn't hit so well, so then like you
Yeah,
come back again, you feel extra motivated. Just like, hey, listen, I knew what
yeah.
happened the first time. Now this next time, I'm about to body it.
To be honest, like I really feel like that is so true, because like it was hard for me. That first one, it was like I messed it up so bad I didn't want to paint anymore. But I was just like, man, I'm asleep on it, just catch a vibe, and then the next morning I just woke up and I did it. Like so for me, like that was the hardest piece I have ever made, man. Like the portrait, the paint portrait. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Too hard, man.
Hey, listen, bro. Listen. Again, sometimes it's a learning experience. But I did want to
Hmm.
ask about the piece behind you. Because I'm
Yeah.
very curious. Like maybe I know everyone is not gonna be able to see this. I'll probably clip it somewhere. But could you please describe like that painting behind you, just what it represents?
So it's actually a portrait of my mom. I've always been like I've always been into cartoons and animations and animes and all that. So I've been doing drawings of her. So I always wanted to do a painting, like bring out that color in her skin tone. I always
Hmm.
wanted to do that. So for this piece, I took a picture of her, like an original picture. It didn't have all the stars and the red, because the whole red and the star and the beret also, it's like it comes from, I don't know if you remember this old show, movie actually, The Incredibles.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. If you look at it, like they have that eye in the middle,
Hmm.
and it's yellow, and then they got the red and all that. So I
Yeah.
just kind of took that, and I wanted to like just make her like give her this superhero vibe, because she's like my superhero and all that.
Oh,
So I just wanted to give her
yo.
that vibe, and yeah, that's the piece right there.
I'm sorry. I don't even want to cut you off. This is why I say powerful pieces, guys. Like, come on.
Yeah, 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 man.
That,
It's like my favorite piece right now. That's why I was just like, yo, I just gotta find a way to just slide it into the podcast.
okay. Moving on to the next question. An
Yeah.
interesting fact about yourself that you rarely share.
I gotta be honest with you, man. I don't really talk about this, but like I gotta have this very crazy anxiety issue. Like I'm always anxious. It's a lot, man. Yeah, like but I rarely talk about it. Like I'm always so chill, but man, like mine's in a different realm. I gotta be honest. Like I'm the type of nigga that just sits there and he's just like observing everything around, but like in his mind,
Mm,
like there's a lot going on. It's like I
yeah,
don't really talk about that. I don't share it. Like I only just it's when I'm like questioned about it. Like some people notice it like when you tap your feet a lot, or like you're playing with something like repetitive, and
right.
you're doing it like and you just can't constantly stop. So like
Yeah.
it's when you ask me, I'm just gonna be like, yeah, 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 yeah. So it's one of those things I got. Like something I would really never talk about.
Yeah, and again, like everyone has like their own personal boundaries and what they want to share. But
Yeah,
again,
for
like for
sure.
me, like it's the same thing. Sometimes like everyone assumes that I just
Yeah.
have this confident swagger all the time. Like, oh, Sean, this guy, he
Yeah.
never gets nervous. Guys, sometimes like especially if I'm in a big crowd, like I'll be sweating profusely. Like it's ugly actually. Ask my sister, like she knows, like it's bad. So like
Yeah,
everyone has their
man.
levels. It's just about like
Yeah, 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 for
we want to
sure.
share it or not, and that's cool. It's up to like them where they feel
Yeah.
comfortable to share their opinions or share their feelings.
Yeah. That's it's a fact, bro. Cause like I'm actually trying to tap into something deeper, and I'm actually trying to take uh what's around me. Cause like in the past I've just been working on developing the skills that I have. I
Hmm.
just trying to grow from this to that, and do different things, explore with different medias, and now I'm trying to tap into something different, and that's like a personal thing for me. And I feel like I also want to tap into that fact that I don't share about, that anxiety I don't talk about. Like I want to try and see if I can incorporate it into my pieces, so I don't have to share it. You just see my piece and like yeah, this is a person that has got that, and
Right.
you might not share it, but you can tell that he's trying to share it.
Yeah, I feel you,
Yeah,
man. I
man.
feel you. Um, yeah, that's great to hear. So, final question for this segment of the hot seat: what
Hot tea.
is your personal safe room?
Personal safe room. It's got to be my creative art space, man. Got to be my creative art space. Once I put up the canvas, get the paint, you see that whole circle, like where the tripod is and the stand and the paint
Yeah.
and everything. That's just like a safe room for me because like sometimes I get so deep into it that I don't know that I'm doing it. Like
Right.
I paint on for hours and it doesn't feel like hours. It just kind of feels like I'm just painting. Like when I get off, doesn't feel like I just got off something I was spending a long time on. And for me, like I don't talk much when I'm doing the paint. I just listen to like music, and I'm just like extremely like quiet the entire time. So like
Hmm.
in that space, I'm just having like this little piece, because like there's a lot going on around you sometimes. Like sometimes you do need that space to have that little peace and quiet peace of mind. So like
Right.
that's what I get. So like for me, like it's just wherever, doesn't matter the place, but like wherever I'm just like doing the art, that's the creative like safe room for me, man. Personal
Yeah,
safe room.
man. Yeah, that's great to hear. And you said you listen to music, so like, is there any
Yeah,
specific artist that you're listening to while you're doing it?
yeah. Depending on the mood, sometimes I could tap into something like really really deep. Sometimes I just feel like tapping into something recent. But like I always half of the time tap into the classics, Like sometimes I could be in a mood and I just want to listen to Nina Simone. And sometimes
Okay, we're going deep,
yeah.
deep in the bag. Okay.
Yeah, man. Sometimes I feel so deep like I tap into a little bit of Sade,
Oh
and
yeah.
I just lay back and it's a vibe for me, and it's like ocean sounds, this kind of sounds like. So sometimes if I want to move like, and sometimes like I could I could be with the brush and I'm just starting to dance a little bit, like around. And sometimes it's probably the Afro beat sounds, the new tracks they got out, like Born Boy, Whiskey, and all that. The beats sometimes it gives the vibes. And
Mm.
but when I get deep, I listen to the classics, man.
Nah, I like
process.
that. No, honestly, I want to ask this question before we move on. Have you
Yeah,
ever
for sure,
thought
man.
of doing like I would say like a live painting, like with a crowd, and like you're just listening to your music? Because I know you said sometimes you will get so deep into it where it's like
Yeah.
maybe like you won't even know that people are behind you. Like, would you like consider something like that? Because I think that would be a beautiful sight. I would just be like sitting there and just like Cam, he's just vibing, he's painting at the same time. You hear some Nina Simone in the background, like hold up, man.
For real, man, that would be a vibe still. Like I feel like I can I see that, actually see something like that happening, like just doing like a live painting. Because I've actually been at a show where like the person I was with did a live painting, and I could tell like they were in that art space I mentioned like earlier, and they
Right.
was just they were in their own zone. Like it was the music because they had he had the like the headsets
Yeah,
on.
the beats and everything, the
Yeah, the
headphones.
beats and everything, and he was gone, and you could tell
Mm,
like there's nothing you could say to him that moment. Like, he just doesn't care. He's just all about that painting. So
right.
I mean, for sure, like I see that, man. I
I
see
think I
that
just
happen.
gave you an
Just
idea right there, man.
man, bro. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, I actually see that happening for real.
Yeah, man, for sure, for sure. But anyway, thanks for taking part of the hot seat, man. I hope that wasn't too crazy because now we're gonna really get
Nah, man,
deep
that
into
was good.
everything. All right, cool, cool,
That was
cool.
good. That's good, man. Hot seat.
Yeah, man. So, again, when you started your career, and I'm saying career because I don't care what you're doing is a career, and I'm gonna
Yeah,
treat it as a career. As a
for sure.
contemporary artist, in a sense, perfecting these powerful and exquisite pieces. I put huge emphasis on those words, powerful and exquisite. Um, what led you to venture in the art of ink? I know you said you do charcoal, pencil, and ink, but I think the ink really sticks out to me the most because I know with ink, it can be very tricky sometimes, especially because I know
Yeah.
art is very abstract, but also if you do have something in mind, you do want to like strive for that goal. So, like, what made you want to get into ink in the first place?
So with the ink story, it's actually like it's in two parts. So the first part is the I think the practical part of it, that's with the works actually. So the ink, sometimes you might not notice that there was a use of ink in the painting, because most of the time the I use the ink as like the base of the drawings.
Mm-hmm.
So I use them as like guidelines. And there's something about working with drawings. When you're working with portraits, you can actually use grids, and you can break down each part into uh, grids and shapes, and you can use that as guidelines. So
Right.
most of the famous, I think, hyper realists that I know, they always work with like those guidelines. They go box to box to box. But for me, I mostly freehand. So when I do like that base, I just do like that structure of the face. I use the ink as the guideline. So that kind of
Okay.
helps me to know where I want to put the darkest part, and when I want where I want to put like the lightest part, and where I want to put the mid tones. And it kind of helps me separate like the tones. So that's what the ink does for me. And then sometimes I I don't use too much of it, and sometimes I use it to finish the pieces, like for my signature.
Mm,
And that's where the ink just plays. It's not too much. It's really simple in the pieces. Like you can't even tell that ink was used. And
yeah.
then the crazy part is the other part of the story to the ink is when I was coming up with the name Monster Boy Ink. I wanted to actually use the INC from like
Like
the movie
incorporated a
Monster
little.
Inc. Yeah, Monster Incorporated. But like I was scared of copyright, and also I was so interested in interested in the ink name. I was like, how do I come up with a name that sounds dope and still, still simple, and a lot of people can still like when they hear the name, they can still like join it with the works and the designs. Like everything plays a
Mhm.
part. So I was like, man, Monster Ink, Monster Ink, Monster Ink, and I just like INK. Holy, yo, that works, man. And
Yeah.
like I was like, yo, I use ink, man. I use ink, and I don't use like a lot of it. I just use like a little bit, but like it still works. Like it just went with the flow, and I was like, man, Monster Boy Ink. I'm gonna stick with that for sure. And saves
Mhm.
me from the copyright still, so it's all good.
I think that's what got to me because, like, it's like I wanted to do I and Z. It's just like, yo, I'm not trying to get
Yeah,
sued by no one. And like,
bro.
no, that's the thing. I feel that that's so smart that you thought of something like that. I think it's hilarious, but it's also smart because again, some people would assume that
Yeah,
like, shoot, I'm gonna have to do my research because for the longest time, if
yeah,
you're an artist and you want to do work, you might want to get that trademark, copyright, patent. I
yeah,
think patent's like the more common one if you have like an invention, and everything, which makes sense. And like that's
yeah,
that's a
for sure,
smart
for sure.
way of thinking of it. But it's also like, okay, INCK, that also kind of works. It's kind of creative in a way.
Yeah,
And the fact that you
yeah.
mentioned ink as like, it's not as like important. I kind of would say that the fact that you use the ink as the guideline, that's like the foundation because like for in your case, if I didn't have that guideline, it's like I'm not saying I'm incapable of doing anything. It's just like, that's
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, I feel you, man. Okay, yeah, yeah, I do get it. Like it plays a part, To me, like it kind of feels like very simple that I use it. I sometimes just feel like, oh man, should I really let people know there's ink there? They don't see it. They just like the charcoal and the pencils, and I'm like, I'm gonna just let them know a little bit. They got a little bit ink there. And it just goes with the name too. And I kind of see a future with opening like a studio and a collective. I
Mhm.
would wanna just name that Ink Studios. And just kind of build a foundation on that. So if
Yeah,
I want to start something, I want to have a foundation for it. Might as well just use like the original foundation. I also use for the pieces. Just like you mentioned.
yeah, man, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, there's something I wanted to ask specifically. Oh,
Sure,
because you
man.
mentioned Ink
Hit me.
Studios, so like I want to talk a bit about
Yeah,
Ink World because again, that was the piece that you represented during the Raw Artist Showcase. So like for anyone who may not be familiar about what that is, maybe you can give a little bit of a breakdown what that whole exhibit was during the time and how it all came to be.
for sure, man. Uh, the InkWRLD was it was a piece of me. Like a slow crawl into my mind, just to give the people uh that visual part of me. And
Right.
the thing about InkWRLD was in the past I actually I didn't go by some of these names, and I went by different names, and I was doing a different artworks. I had different pages, and then along the way, I kind of lost focus. Had a huge creative block. Just kind of dumped it all somewhere and just try to do something else.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say I just like got back into the whole art thing again, like recently. Gotta be honest. I just got back into trying to promote myself because for a while I just stopped doing all that. I stopped sharing the pieces. That's why most of the pieces are really uh they're like super old in some type of way. Some of them are like from 2016, 2015. Some of them are like 7 years old, 10.
Right.
And like I just wanted to share a piece of that, a piece of me that once was. And I wanted to bring that back, because if I'm trying to be an artist that wants to be recognized by other people, I would want them to know about the backstory. So the ink world was just kind of a way into my mind, and to see what I did before. Because if I do new pieces now, I would still want people to see what the old pieces felt like.
Right.
For them to feel it. And I didn't toss any of them away, so I still got them. They're still looking sharp. So I'm gonna just go ahead and share that before I start to you know put the future pieces out, because I didn't share any of the new pieces I did at the World Artist. I just went with the old stuff, because I
Mm,
just wanted people to get a glimpse of that that artist that has a backstory. Like,
right.
I want to come in into the space, that creative art space
Hmm.
in this world, and I wanna have a backstory that people can look at and be like, oh yeah, he did a lot of stuff, and he's still doing a lot of stuff, and he will definitely do
Yeah. No, I feel you. I
more
feel you.
stuff.
Like that long term storytelling. It's just like I'm not gonna give you everything at once. I'm gonna make you build and build and
Yeah.
build. Come along with the journey, and like, listen, if it leads to something where we get like InkWRLD 2, then like I'm down for it.
Yo, that would be fire, man. You keep hitting me with this show ideas, and I'm like, man, yo, the future. Man, I could be doing a lot with that still. Like in Coral 2, if I was gonna do a themed show like that, oh my god, that might be crazy, man.
Hey, listen, I mean, yeah, just put your mind to it. That's something I've been doing recently with my own stuff. So I'm just passing on to like what I've been really honing for myself. I think you can do it, whether it's
Appreciate
like an in-person event, book a venue, get some people on board, and like again, you let me know, and like I'll come out and I'll support and everything.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that still.
Of course.
Man, no worry, I'm gonna keep you in touch for sure.
All right,
For
sounds good.
sure.
Sounds good. Okay, so moving on to my next question. Who are some of your biggest inspirations in terms of like you doing your art and everything? Who are some people that you've either talked to or maybe you've seen and you're like, yeah, you know what, this person really pushes me to my best capabilities and what I want to do.
Um, yeah, a lot of people that inspire me. Um, they're the base, the the base of where I got my inspiration from. Some of them are not too they're not too popular, and some of them are like super famous. So most of them are Nigerian. They're just like
Hmm.
me. Some of them got that opportunity to come out here, places like you know the foreign seas, and that diaspora. They got that opportunity to just come out here and do stuff like that. So I do have a couple of names. They might not sound familiar, but
Hey,
for anyone
listen,
listening, they can
let them
check them
know.
out
Let
also.
them know.
So the first one is got to be Kennedy Wiley. He
Wait.
uh he
Oh,
was
I know exactly you're talking about. Are you what?
yeah.
Is that the unpopular name?
Yeah, man.
I'm not sure if that's an
Sometimes
unpopular
you
name.
mentioned that, and a lot of people they're like, I don't know.
I
I'm
know
like,
exactly what you're talking about,
you
man.
don't know.
Ah,
Yeah, man. Wiley's inspiration on me is it's pretty huge, because like that the painting that he does, oh man,
mm-hmm.
super dope. Gotta be honest. I think another person too is he's a Arinze. He's
Okay.
also like he makes super hyper realistic artworks, and they're just like pictures. Like the
Mm.
details are extreme. And there's also another person, I think, Kelvin Okafo art.
I think I've heard.
He's also, yeah, he did like a drawing of Skeptor, and that was all over like the internet. Like, I think Twitter also, like, a lot of people were tweeting about it. Like, they were like, oh man, it's too real. He did like one of Naomi Campbell. It was just
Wow.
fire, man. Yeah. Like, so I just most of these people, what gets to me about them is their details, and like the practical side, like, because like I see their progress shots, and Like I'm just like, yo, how, man? How did a nigga do that? Like, come on. Like, yo, how did you do that? And I just wanna be able to, hopefully, do something like that someday too. Might not be as good as that, but I
Mm,
just, I want to create something, that leads on, and hopefully, people can also get inspiration from. And that's what these people have done for me. They've created pieces that have inspired me also to create.
yeah.
So I also want to be an artist that would create to inspire. You know what I mean?
I
So
like that. I like that,
yeah,
man. And again, like some names that you mentioned, again, I know, and again, maybe some people don't know, but that's why you're listing
yeah,
them out because you guys can go check them out. And again, man, I do
yeah.
believe
Check them
that,
out for sure.
yeah, with the work that you're doing, Cam, man, like you can be up there with those names. You can. Like I know
Man,
that you got some talented stuff with you. You got that talent, that raw skill as well. So like, just keep pushing, bro.
thanks, man, for sure, man. That's the dream.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay, moving on to the next question. So, what is the message within your art that you want people to know? Whether it's like some of the people like, hey, like I know this person is supporting me, but let me let you know what I want my art to speak, or maybe someone who may not be familiar. Again, like I was someone that just like when I came and we
Yeah,
connected for the first time, I was like, damn, like I see these pieces, just like, but I wonder what
yeah,
he's trying to get across. Like maybe it's something. Again, you mentioned InkWRLD and what that meant, and you said you want to, build on something toward that. So again,
yeah.
again, what is the overall message that you want people to get when it comes to your art pieces?
Um, I want people to just kind of uh understand uh the pieces even before they're explained to you. I want people to see the message, and most of the message in my pieces, they always have to do with things that are very familiar.
Mhm.
Like for instance, some of my portraits, they're mostly to show the expression of a person. To show you uh what it feels like when a person is just still with one particular expression. Like they can have a lot going on, but that
Right.
expression is telling you something else. So with the portraits, it's mostly to show a story behind a still expression.
Hmm.
With the paintings, it's mostly to bring out this colorful vibe and just portray something joyful, something popping.
Mm.
And sometimes it can get deep, and I want to do something off of something that is happening. So I have a lot of messages, and I think the main message at the end of the day is just to inspire someone. Just have someone, just one person. I don't want to inspire the entire world. No. I just wanna inspire one person. Just have one person look at the piece, and before they even talk to me, before they know who I am, because you know life gets real and shit. Some of us are just gonna pass on someday for sure.
Mm.
And if I'm also looking back at the younger generation, and I want them to, I want to leave something behind, and
Right.
I'm not going to be around to explain it. So I want what I'm creating to have a message for them. So it
Mm.
has to do. It's a whole lot, but the main message is just to create, to inspire, and to live a message on for people who might not be able to meet me in person, for me to explain it to them. Yeah,
Mm. Yeah,
that's that.
man.
That's mostly the main message behind the pieces.
That's beautiful, man. That's absolutely beautiful. And again, I love how
Thanks,
you
man.
put emphasis on the younger generation. Again, a lot of
Yeah,
us growing up now living in the society, we have so much different takes, we have so much different perspective on things, and sometimes we'll have people who share those same opinions, and others it's complete contrast. And I
yeah,
think with you making sure that, listen, again, I may not be here, or like if you purchase a painting of mine and like that's it. All we know is that like, hey, this person bought my piece. Like we never actually
yeah,
hang, we never really talk. But I want it to be where
yeah, for
once you
sure.
get the piece, once you get the piece, it's like it's speaking. It's like I'm there and like I'm
Yeah.
kind of explaining to you. So I definitely resonate with
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, man, you get it. Like that's it. Like I want to do that. Leave something behind for someone to just find and also just take inspiration from. Just just let someone know. Like, yeah,
you.
I was there. I did something like this, and if it's that push you're looking for, I also didn't have that push, but I did it still. So
Hmm.
to just a couple of
Absolutely.
messages, lots of
Absolutely,
messages,
man.
but
For sure, for sure, for sure. Okay, moving on to the next question. And again, I might be misquoting, so correct me if I am wrong. But I'm assuming
okay,
because I know you mentioned a couple moments about Nigeria, and then like I try to do some research because I want to make sure that I know my guests pretty well. So like before I even ask
yeah,
this question, I'm gonna ask like a pre-question. So I just want to make sure like did you have
yeah,
an upbringing in Lagos, Nigeria at some
yeah,
point? Okay, okay,
yeah, yeah.
cool.
I did.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. So yeah, like I that really intrigued me because I'm like, okay, so it's not just like with his pieces, he's just painting what he paints and having that expression, but I see that there's levels of like his heritage or culture that he's also adding into it as well, which I think is such a
Yeah,
that's what really distincts some artists in between. Like, how can they add more level to it? And I feel like when they bring something where it's like I'm bringing my culture involved, I think that's what makes
yeah,
people really stand out the most. So, bro, I want to know like when you were in Nigeria at the time, what was the decision for you to like come here to Canada and just like whether it was pursue your art or even amplify because maybe there's some story
yeah,
that you're not telling about like, hey, I actually started art back in Nigeria and like I just came here to
yeah,
Canada.
yeah.
So like I would love for you to speak a little bit more on that.
For sure, man. Like, the thing is, I was doing art in Nigeria. Like, I lent art in Nigeria. Although I didn't just wake up and like I just wanted to be an artist. Said that to myself.
Right, right,
Now, I I actually wanted while I was like younger, uh I wanted to be like a computer like programmer.
oh,
I I had my sets on that like I really liked. I was fascinated by technology. And at some point I started to I just started to disperse from that whole idea of wanting to be that. And at that time, like a lot of things were happening, like just a couple of issues here and there, like having to drop out of school because we couldn't finance that anymore because it was tough at some point, you know.
right.
So that actually kind of built that love for drawing because I would be in class, while learning about that technology. Sometimes I would just zone out and just start drawing lines, like and making shapes, then
Mm,
just connecting dots. Just doing something else different from what I was learning, and I never really got to grab most of the things that were explaining about that technology at that point. I was just fascinated by the drawings because I did have a brother, my elder brother. He was into art, so there was a piece I actually saw. The just a random day, he just came back home, brought a piece, and then with that piece, he made someone a portrait, and he used the number 10 as a ballpoint for
Oh.
the portrait. I was like, what? Wait, what?
He's like, yo,
And
bro,
then I was like,
you're confusing me.
bro, I was like, nah, that ain't real. Like, how did you do that? He was like, he just did it. I couldn't understand what he was saying that time. I'm telling you,
I wouldn't
I
understand too.
couldn't.
It's just like, I just did it. Like, bro, I need more than
Yeah,
that. Come on.
I need more than that. Like, cause like I was a person that always believed everything had a base.
Mm-hmm.
Every like even with technology, like we kind of saw how this thing started. We see the base, but with him, I never saw the base. I just saw the final piece, and I was like, yo, I want to know how to do that. So while I was in school just learning, I was just drawing shapes. Then I was like, yo, I gotta do this. Like, this is extremely fascinating to me. So at some point, while I just had that time from school and I had like years to just like explore, it just kind of started getting better and
Yeah.
better. It was like a growth. And then like at some point, I just started to do it consciously. Like, it would go with the fingers and the hands. The movement started to do
Right.
its thing on its own. And that's why sometimes when people say I have a talent, I'm just like, I think I just had a skill. Like, because I never wanted to do it, I just grew into it. So I just kind of felt like, at some point, sometimes just a heads up to let you know, like sometimes when people tell me I have a talent, I can be weird about it, but it's just cause it was just a skill.
Yeah.
So my elder brother, like the eldest son, because I come from a very large family. So he kind of saw that that was something I could build on as a person, and my family can also bank on,
Mm-hmm.
as as it being a career for me to get into, because we all know, like on the financial side, like art sells a lot,
Right.
art pieces sell a lot. Even though like I don't really I don't get into it for like the money and all that. I'm really all about it being out there, But like we just know, like on the other side, like it can open a doorway as a career for a person.
Mm-hmm.
So like my brother was just like, yo, like, yeah, you do it, you love it. Maybe it's time to just go into it deeper, expand into it, be make it into a career, do something with it. So he just came up with the idea that maybe taking it to a place where it's more appreciated, because we do have like art in Nigeria, but
Mm-hmm.
uh there's a lot of things going on in Nigeria, like as a country. There's a whole lot going on, and it's way deeper than
Mm-hmm.
just doing art and doing a lot of stuff. Like the corruption is one thing. The the lacks, like there's a lot of things like a lot of people lack from. So like a lot of people don't have a lot of stuff to work with. So art is also one thing that's like that. You can't really build on it out there. So my
Mm.
brother was just like, maybe just just take that and take it somewhere where like they build on it. They've been building on it for years. So maybe you might be able to amplify what you have. So for me, I think it was more of a like an amplification for me. It wasn't
Mm.
like I just came here and then I decided, oh, art. No,
Yeah.
I had it. I had it in me. Like I wanted to do it. Started doing it. Fell in love with it deeply.
Mm.
And then like just coming out here and then coming to a city like Toronto and then seeing the murals and the pieces, and they have a lot of shows going on here, and there's opportunities here. You know what I mean? So
I will say, like,
yeah,
as much as I roast Toronto, like almost anytime
yeah,
anyone brings it up, Toronto, yeah, Toronto does provide a lot of opportunities for like arts to be shown in
Yeah,
the city, whether it's shows, exhibits, galleries, like
yeah,
anything that
exactly.
you can see, murals, like you mentioned, like there is
Yeah.
always representation somewhere for art. Now, I think the
Mhm.
next conversation becomes compensation in terms of like
Yeah.
artists and everything, making sure that
Mhm.
if we're going to be doing these pieces or be part of it, can we get compensated for our time? You know, because I can only
Yeah.
imagine when someone reaches you out, at first it's like, I appreciate being part of this, but then eventually when I do get bigger, I need a check, respectfully, you know? I need a check.
Respectfully.
Yeah, so,
Respectfully, man.
yeah.
Yeah, with compensations, like sometimes I really don't. That, like I said, like one thing about art that I've learned as a person and as an artist is try to try not to focus on the money, the compensations and everything. Like you could get lost into it
Mm,
because with art, the thing about art is it's still till today it doesn't have like a current like a base value. Like
right.
there's this amount that should be paid. There's always a this you can never put a price on it, you know? Just like they say, you can never put a price on art. And you have to know that as an artist that you're gonna sell higher every time.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, it might start out very slow. Lots of the people we know today, lots of the big artists, Basquiat, Picasso, the Mona Lisa, the top paintings, the
Right.
pop art. Yeah, like they've been years into it.
Mm-hmm.
And you gotta know that it's gonna start out really slow. Like
Mm-hmm.
a person might put a like a value of $20 on a piece. Don't be offended by that.
No one's not even just that. Some of them might not even buy that. They're just like, yeah, I'm good. So,
Yeah, like so like the thing is it would just keep getting higher because you put in more time into it. Like that's what
mm,
I've learned as an
yeah.
artist because I used to have pieces that never sold,
Mm,
never even thought about selling them because just showing it to people, it's enough for them.
mm-hmm.
Like nobody's gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna bring out a check, write you something good, nah, because they sometimes it's really more about the message. Like art in today's world, it's a culture. So like I think with the compensation, it just comes as it goes, like as you
Right.
viewed on it, you get compensated for it. So the more you keep building, I believe the more you get compensated for. So
Mm,
the goal really as a person, as an artist, would be just to grow.
yeah,
And the
absolutely.
more you grow, the more you're just gonna randomly get compensated.
Yeah,
Like
and
people would just reach out to you.
that is absolutely true, and that's something I've realized too. You know, like anyone who's a podcaster, we all know how hard it is to like get compensated because it's usually ads and sponsorships, and usually with that, there's always metrics involved.
Exactly.
You need 10,000
Yeah.
downloads, and like guys, I'm not even scratching like 10 at some point when it's like all said and done. But again, it's just like Cam said, it's about growth, and eventually, someone is gonna walk up to you, and they're gonna give you that opportunity that you were looking for months, for
Yeah.
years. Like next thing you know, it's
Mhm.
like, wow, I just stuck to my craft, and everything just kind of worked out in the end. So
Yeah.
wise words, Cam.
Like
Wise words. Okay, so yeah, moving on. I want to talk about the Rolling Loud concert. It just wrapped up, I believe, yesterday. 3 days of
yeah.
the biggest artists and everything. Cam, I just want to know, like, were you following in any news on what was happening in Rolling Loud, or were you just kind of like it just it came and went for you?
Nah, I was following it. Like I saw the lineup and like I was also like hearing about it because like some people around me, like even from my school, a lot of people, went. They had fun. They said it was like the energy was different, and for me, I kind of felt like it was good because I kind of felt like they just started to open up the world,
Mm-hmm.
because COVID came, that happened. For a while, people were locked in. So with the rolling loud, I think like, and like as we ease into fall, winter, it's about to get cold up in here.
That's a fact.
And a lot of people are just trying to have some fun before that happens. It's not like you're not gonna have fun during that time. It's just gonna be indoors for sure. But like a lot of people were trying to do that outdoor stuff that they couldn't enjoy when COVID happened. And I think with the Rolling Loud and other shows, because it was a big weekend. Like a lot of things were happening in
Yeah.
Toronto. Like they had the film festival, they had
Mm-hmm.
showing of classic movies and all that. It was a crazy weekend. Like I had the traffic and everything was crazy.
No,
It
that's
was
that's so true. Like, what's it like? Just this past Saturday, it was at I was down at Danforth, and like usually Danforth, it's packed. Cause you
yeah,
usually have like the outside restaurants. I kid you not, empty, clear because there was so much happening. Like you said, TIFF, Rolling Loud. I think there was other events happening as well. So I can only imagine
yeah.
like the transits at the time as well, like taking the TTC
It
and like the
was
subway.
it was tough. It was tough. It was tough. Like a lot of lines. I don't know if it's a line two, but at some point, I think there were like a lot of places where the subway couldn't get to,
Yeah,
and there were some times I think it was packed. It was really packed.
yeah, like
The city was packed also because like tourists and all that. A lot of people were coming in from different
basically, like
places.
specifically, if we're talking like on line one, we're talking like Spadina to like Union. It's good luck,
Yeah,
good luck, and like we're talking line
telling
two,
you,
we're
man.
talking like maybe Dufferin because I do see sometimes
Yeah,
Dufferin be
Duffer.
busy.
Yeah, Duffer be busy, man. And Bay Young. Oh man, he do be busy, man. Yeah, cause like that's where people change to line one. That's
Mhm.
where they go downtown. So it do get busy at
Nah,
that point.
like no, I'm being honest. The only line that probably is not as hectic is like line four. I don't see no one
Line four.
expecting there.
Yeah, man. I think it's really dry out there because like I've been all the way to line four and like it's super chill. Like
Yeah,
you can meet someone like every day. I believe if they
I
if they
like
take that same line and
up
you take the
there with
same line,
John Mills and everything. Just like yeah, we alone.
we alone up in
Yeah, man.
tell you man.
I
But
mean,
man, rolling out, but
yeah, it
still
was a
was
lot
was
happening.
was
There's
fun.
some big performers and everything. I know. I did see a friend of mine. She posted on her story she went to see Trippy Red and everything. People are going nuts. People are losing their minds. I think Tory
Yeah, man.
Lanez he returned to Rolling Loud for the first time in I think 4 years or such, and like he got
Yeah,
the hometown welcome and everything. So that was good to see.
stuff.
There were even a couple, Toronto artists that I know, whether it's like by association or I follow them. Havaya Mighty was there, Lola Buns was there, so it was great to see them have their shining moment. But yeah, rollout was great. And I will say one thing that I mean I haven't heard of any news reports or anything, but I don't think there was like any major like incidents that happened at Rolling Loud unless someone wants to update me on that. I don't think there hasn't been like
Yeah,
any issues with like organizers or like fans or maybe any possible shootings or anything.
I don't think so. I just I was just observing from from the Instagram and some of the people I knew. They went and then like it was fire for them. Like my Snapchat was filled up. I was seeing a lot of different side views from it, and I
Hmm.
didn't see anyone talk about incidents and all that. So I think
Yeah,
it's pretty
man.
good still. For
Absolutely.
for people, like I definitely think they enjoyed themselves for sure,
Hmm.
man.
Yeah, man, for
I
sure,
think
for
so, bro.
sure. Well, yeah. Just kind of going back into gear now. That was just a little bit of talking about Rolling Loud. I want to talk about black art galleries because I know we were bouncing with ideas about maybe you doing an in-person event, but I also want to get your
Yeah.
position behind it. Like, if you, whether it's personal experience, you attending one, you probably facilitating one yourself. Just like, how do you feel about just the vibe of Black art galleries? Do you feel like there's enough? Do you feel like it's good representation? Do you feel like there needs to be more?
Um, with Black art galleries, I do feel like there needs to be more of that. Yeah, more themed shows and more cultures coming together. Like I know cultures are coming together, every day,
Yeah,
because you're meeting people out there, and you're fascinated by the other culture. Like you're just like, oh man, they're so different from what you probably expected. So cultures are coming together every day. People are meeting people. I do feel like a lot more of that, should be in place. And personally, I do have an idea in mind to collaborate with more Black artists.
mm,
I do wanna, I wanna form like a collective and create stuff, because like I learned a lesson I think a few months back, and you can't really do it on your own,
right,
like you you do need people around you, and sometimes it's so great and it's so dope when you have people around you that are thinking the same way you're
right.
thinking. It's like great minds are coming up, together to form something that is gonna be
Mm,
epic. So I do feel like starting a collective, doing more shows, and maybe it might not just have like the entire Nigerian culture. And I would like to have a collective that has different cultures.
right,
So
right.
like we can come together and just create something that would, because like I said, like the main message is still to inspire the next generation. And to be honest, I would like the next generation to see that collaboration between
Mm,
cultures. So
yeah,
for real, for sure, yeah, man. Future, definitely Black art galleries, like a lot more, and a lot more original works in there too. Cause I feel like sometimes a lot of people get carried away with prints,
right.
and like they think like they just want to do the prints, they just want to sell them. Like it's good for the the business part of it. Do you feel like people, coming together and all that? Yeah, for sure, man. Like that Black art gallery, there's a future in there for sure. I see that. I see that, to be honest.
I think for me, one of the few issues I have is that anytime I hear about a gallery or a showcase, it's usually like I have to do some digging, like some true
Yeah.
digging in terms
Mm,
of like finding something, or maybe like if I'm following like a non-profit organization or like a group itself, and like they focus a lot on like racialized groups. I feel that's
yeah.
where I would figure something like that. But if you're asking me about the city of Toronto or like anyone else, I don't hear it as much. It's like, it kind of comes out of the bloom. So I wish that there's more representation online in terms of, hey, here are some of these galleries, these showcases that you guys can come out to. If you're an aspiring artist and you want to know more, then here's where you should go, or here's some of the hot spots to go to. I think from
Yeah.
there, you'll be able to like, okay, now I can actually, connect with people and network and everything. And I feel
Yeah,
like
for sure,
even
man.
your answer, it kind of speaks on, all different aspects, your personal experience, the networking, which you want to collect, connect with different people and the collective, and the representation. So yeah, you followed that up beautifully, in my opinion, how you answered it.
Thanks, man. Yeah, like for real, just yeah, more stuff on that, like the black art galleries, like more stuff. Like people need to do more in that aspect for me. Like yeah, do you feel like people need to come together because every day we wake up into a world that we're leaving behind someday for some generation to come on.
Mm.
I'm really peculiar about that. Like I'm 100% peculiar about that. The way I am as a person,
That's
I
a good thing.
have yeah, I have nephews, and I look at them sometimes and I'm like, yo, I want to leave something good for them. So I feel like more collaborations, more peace and love, kindness, more of that needs to be shown. And it needs to be as a visual interpretation for the next generation. They
Mm.
need to see more of that, The more they see violence, the more they see people not agreeing to a thing that it shouldn't be that hard to agree to. Like the more they see that, the more they see that that connection getting
Yeah,
lost,
it's
that
it's
split,
breaking apart. There's a
it's
division
breaking
between.
apart. Yeah, and I just kind of feel like here more stuff like about that, and then more cultures coming together. Having that great mind, think alike, and y'all is just doing your own thing, and y'all are trying to push it out there because I am actually part of a group, like a movement. It's actually a
Mm.
movement for singers and songwriters and artists that make music.
Really?
So yeah, so I'm part of that, but that's just for the music side. But in the
Hold
art side,
on. I'm at to like
okay,
I'm at to link you with some people now. I'm at to link you with
yeah,
like
man,
people who I know because I know some singers, some artists, and everything. I know like this one dude that we went to York, and like he's a rapper. Like he's really like showing out right now. So like,
damn, for real, it's dope, man, for sure, man. Yo, I'm always down to collaborate. I don't play with collaborations because the more collaborations you got, the more you're growing, man. Because
mm,
when you're doing things outside your box, and you have other people around you that are probably doing the same thing, and you're doing it in like a different way, a different perspective, that is gonna change that perspective you have that moment. So it's
right,
good to collaborate with people. It's good to get on different opportunities that you may see. It might be on the safe room, for anyone out there, the next set of young artists that might join the safe room or may join the safe room in the future. Like, it could be that. And, for sure, man, just doing that, getting on that collaboration, not taking that for a joke. I don't do that. I
yo.
always want to collaborate. I always want to
Y'all
do
see
stuff
the
with people.
love here, guys. Like the fact that he's like, "Yo, people, if you want to come on the podcast, like that's." I ain't have no one has ever really like approached it like that. Like, yo, if you guys like want to collab, like make sure you collab. Whether it's like the safe room, like, dude, I feel so.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for that, man. I appreciate the love.
So good, man. Like that's all we got at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So like, why not just show it and spread more of that peace and love, man. I'm all about
Mm,
that for real, man. That's
yeah,
all. Like, just go out there. I see opportunities every day. I'm always applying for shows. I'm always trying to get one or two gigs. When I meet artists, I'm always trying to just let them know if they're having like a little bit of hard time. I'm always trying to let them know they can be better.
I love
And I
it.
don't even tell like I'm trying to, say I'm better than you. No, I'm
Hmm.
trying to say you can be better than the me that is trying to be better than everyone else. You
Yo,
can't be better than that.
yo, guys, he's dropping gems. He's dropping gems. What?
Man, man, for real, man.
Nah, Cam. I appreciate it, man, and thank you for for coming on the podcast, man. This was a
It means
fantastic
a lot to
time.
me too, man.
Yeah, man, of course. Where can people find you on social media so they can just follow up on your amazing work?
Uh, so for my social media, it's MonsterBoyInk, MonsterBoyINK, no spaces, no dots, no caps, no nothing. It's all on there. It's the same one for every single social media. And my work is literally on there. I do have plans to develop an online website very
Oh.
soon, so people can shop and also read more on the InkWRLD, the gallery, because I want to bring a virtual gallery to people where they can actually have access to reading and learning more. I did have that at the last showcase, so
Mm-hmm.
now I'm trying to turn it into a web format and not just like a PDF. So that way people will have access to it because people are familiar with stuff like that, reading stuff off the website and like the news lines and all that. So I'm trying to create like a sort of news line, but it's gonna be
Right.
like a gallery. So you see the piece and then you read about it. You see the year, you see the materials that we use also. So for people that may come looking for inspiration, that's there for them. Then for people
Mm-hmm.
that just come looking for answers to the piece, you know, you also have that too. So trying to be
Mm-hmm.
more in that
Yeah, man, that sounds dope. It sounds dope, man. Let me know how that goes and anything if you need some
for sure, man.
support. Then I'm totally down for it. But Cam, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Thank you to everyone listening to the Safe Room this week. Make sure you follow me on the Safe Room official on Instagram, the Safe Room Pod on Twitter, and I'm recently been doing YouTube Shorts on my YouTube channel. Yes, guys, the YouTube channel is actually active again. It's been what 2 years. I was like dropping content before, then I just stopped because I wasn't seeing nothing happen. And now, like, I think I'm your boy is finally back, but just for short, for now. But if you want to go check it out, the Safe Room Podcast on YouTube, go check out my website, thesaferoompodcast.com. And if you're not subscribed to our newsletter, make sure you're subscribed. We just launched our newsletter just last week. Just last week to this day of the recording, which is Monday, September 12th. We launched it Monday, September 5th. Cam, I think you're one of the subscribers. So again, I just want to say
Yeah,
thank
man.
you.
Yeah, man. I had to subscribe, and trust me, I'm gonna get more people to subscribe today. Just the way of networking and just helping each other out in terms of collaboration. So I would love more people to follow Safe Room. I'm trying to see if I can get this out there also to try and inspire more people to come on because I do feel like this is a safe space to talk, to
Mm,
share stuff. So more people get on the Safe Room, get on the newsletter, go follow Sean, Safe Room official,
yo,
because man, could be big anytime, man,
hey, listen, bro.
anytime.
It's coming. Listen, guys, I
It's
got
coming.
plans. I got plans. Listen, for anyone I will tell you this: anyone who subscribes to the newsletter, there's a certain section that might come into fruition, like for real. And if you know, you know. I ain't gonna say much. I don't want to spoil it, but nonetheless, thank you so much, Cam. Thank you to
Problem,
everyone
man.
who listened to the podcast this week. We'll be back with a new episode next week. But until then, see you guys next time.
Guys, peace and love always.